Welcome to StopFake, the place where we debunk fakes about Ukraine. I'm Romeo Kokriatski with StopFake's latest dissection of Russian alternate reality. This week's disinformation menu brings you the following: nuclear explosions in Ukraine. Ukraine's president is disappointed in the country's armed forces. Energy austerity measures brought on by a political and economic crisis. The U.S. accuses Ukraine of genocide against its own people. Let's get to the details, shall we? Dubious and less than legitimate sites regularly publish stories claiming that Ukraine possesses hidden nuclear weapons. The latest version of this unsubstantiated and questionable narrative appeared in the U.S. Veterans Today website, claiming that a nuclear weapon detonated during the March munitions depot fire that occurred in Balaklia near Kharkiv in eastern Ukraine. Author Ian Greenhalgh says his claim is based on real expertise in nuclear fission. He uses emotionally charged words such as Holocaust, sabotage, and mushroom cloud, and video footage of the depot explosion that is no longer available on the internet. The story includes a frame from the alleged video, where Greenhalgh says shows plasma rain falling from a mushroom cloud, a clear sign that this was a nuclear explosion. The photo is in fact a screenshot from a 2013 video of a fire at the Chapayevsk test site in Russia's southeastern Samara province. Greenhalgh uses other photographs to push his claim that Ukraine illegally possesses tactical nuclear SS-21 missiles. He fails to mention that the SS-21s can carry conventional, chemical, or nuclear warheads. Ukraine has never hidden the fact that they have conventional warheads for SS-21s as part of its arsenal, as these missiles are clearly visible at Ukraine's festive military parades. Veterans Today is a marginal site publishing a mixture of legitimate veteran stories, but also specializing in conspiracy theories and dubious stories questioning the September 11th terror attacks in the United States. The business review site SiteJabber calls Veterans Today an alarmist conspiracist site. The reputable Southern Poverty Law Center has featured Veterans Today on their Hate Watch review for its Holocaust denial and other conspiracy theory stories. A typical Veterans Today headline, like this one from April 21st, declares Nikki Haley is a political maniac and a psychopath. Ms. Haley is the American ambassador to the United Nations. Russian propagandist site Life.ru published an article claiming that Ukraine's President Petro Poroshenko admitted that European armies were superior to Ukraine's. Poroshenko allegedly made this announcement in a speech to Britain's Royal Institute of International Affairs, known as Chatham House. RIA Novosti took Life's claims even further and declared that Poroshenko is disappointed in Ukraine's armed forces. Ukraine's president, however, has made no such claims in his Chatham House address. Quite the contrary, he pointed out that Ukraine spends 5% of its GDP on its defense, and its army currently ranks 8th in Europe. It is the only army that not only faces Russian aggression, but also is able to effectively contain it, he said. According to the Global Firepower Index, a ranking of militaries based of active personnel, tanks, aircraft, and more, Ukraine is ranked 30th among 126 countries, ahead of the armies of Switzerland, Norway, Holland, and Argentina. The former Soviet newspaper of record, today Russia's biggest daily broadsheet Izvestia, announced last week that energy consumption and demand for oil products in Ukraine have fallen sharply because of political and economic crises plaguing the country. Russian Defense Ministry television station Zvezda quickly followed suit, declaring that Ukraine was introducing austerity measures driven by its economic crisis. The austerity measures Zvezda refers to is Ukraine's decreasing reliance on Russian oil and Kyiv's growing diversification of its energy sources. According to the country's state fiscal service, Ukraine's oil imports are in fact growing, but it is oil imported from countries other than Russia. In the first quarter of 2017, Ukraine imported $82 million worth of oil products from Azerbaijan and Kazakhstan, and only 2.6% of its oil supplies came from Russia. In 2016, Ukraine spent $173 million on oil imports. That is 0.1% of those imports came from Russia. According to the petroleum company Укртатнафта, Kyiv's determination to diversify oil imports increased because of Russia blocking oil supplies to Ukraine. Ukraine's energy strategy through 2030 calls for ending Ukraine's reliance on energy supplies from monopolist sources and increasing the country's energy security through diversification of routes and sources. Scores of Russian media disseminated claims that during a meeting with business leaders, U.S. President Donald Trump accused Ukraine of waging genocide against its own people. Donald Trump allegedly made this accusation during a business roundtable. This event was reported by CNN Radio, claims Russian sites. CNN, however, never ran such a report anywhere, not on radio, on television, or on their website. No other U.S. media reported on such a statement by the United States president. Had Trump actually uttered such a dramatic pronouncement, it is highly unlikely that other media would have ignored the allegation. Donald Trump did meet with business leaders at the White House on April 4th, but Ukraine was not part of the discussion. His appearance is available on the White House YouTube channel. In their almost identical versions of this fake story, nearly all of the Russian sites inexplicably included a photograph of Mary Harf, the U.S. State Department deputy spokesperson during the Obama administration. Harf is currently a commentator for Fox News. Here she is talking about the recent U.S. response to the Syrian chemical attack. This is not the first such entirely contrived fake that we've encountered. StopFake debunked a similar story in 2015 in which President Obama allegedly accused Ukraine of genocide. The source, again, was CNN, and again, the fake accusation took place during a meeting with business leaders. It would appear the fakes, like paper and plastic, can be recycled. Just change the name of the US president. That's it for this week. You can get more information about these stories and more on our website. Give us a click. Be vigilant, beware of fakes. If you spot any disinformation about Ukraine, send it to us for a truth autopsy. Remember, consuming fake news is bad for your health, your brain, and the psychological climate of society, so don't do it. I'm Romeo Kokriatski, and this is StopFake. Thanks for watching.